Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today let's go over a hard question in the database category that I just solved on my own. So I'm super happy about this and I'm very glad that I was able to come up with my own solution to this question without any assistance. So let's go over it and let me show you how I did it. This is question 262, trips and users. So I was going down here and looks like there's some companies asking them. So it's a good question to go over. A lot of these database questions I noticed most companies aren't even asking them, so that's something to keep in mind. But either way, let's go over it. So basically trips and users. Basically we want to find for each day, the ratio of trips to ones that are canceled. So canceled over the total number of trips. And note that in order for the trip to count at all, both of these must be not banned. So this would not count because even though it's canceled, this client ID is banned. They have to be not banned. So in this case, 4 and 13 would be valid because they're both not banned. So at least we're counting this into the total calculation. And same with this. So that's something to keep in mind. Other than that, let's go ahead and code it up and also round it to 2 decimal places. So we only want dates between this and this. So let's declare a range. So the low is 2013, 10/01, and the upper boundary is October 3rd of 2013. So then let's go ahead and get the status of each user. So let's say banned or not. For I, you enumerate users, users ID. So banned or not of you. So if users of banned of I, so if the current cell is equal to no, then we're going to say it's not banned, right? So let's make this as true. Otherwise, it is banned. So let's make this as false. Okay, so now let's go over the trips table. So for IT and enumerate trips, let's do request at because we're trying to figure out whether this is even in this particular range. Sometimes I'm assuming they can't be, so that's a good thing to keep track of that. So if low is less than or equal to t, less than or equal to high, and we have to make sure the client ID, so client ID and driver ID, client ID of I, trips driver ID of I. So if they're not banned, right, because if and banned or not of client ID and banned or not driver ID, because we're setting them to true if they're not banned, which we want to make sure both of these are not banned. In that case, then we can actually go ahead and count it into, so basically let's just get the status, right? So because we're going to get the ratio of the total requests, the total trips to the ones that are canceled by either the driver or the client. So D of the current day, we're going to append trips status of I. Okay, now let's go ahead and loop over this dictionary. Let's print K and DK. It's supposed to be a list. Okay, so notice that this one is supposed to be 33%. Yep, 1 out of 3 are canceled. Here it's 50%. This is no canceled, 50%. Cool. So now let's call this now. And let's call this the ones that are canceled. Let's just count them. So for n and now. So for each string here. So if n is not equal to completed, then it has to be canceled, right? Then canceled plus equals to 1. And then the total ratio is just cancel divided by length of now. So let's print K in a ratio. So the canceled requests to the total number of requests as a whole. So let's go ahead and do this. Okay, cool. So you can see that lines up perfectly with what we are seeing. So now let's go ahead and declare an answer array. And while we're at it, let's just also put A and B, because we're going to want 2 columns. And then we're just going to append k and ratio, except this needs to be rounded to 2 decimal places, as it says right here. Okay, so now let's go ahead and do this for v and answer. A.append v0, b.append v1, so filling each column, and then let's create an empty data frame because we're pretty much done. And we're going to set the day, and we're also going to set the cancellation rate to AB, and then just return the result, right? So let's run this, submit it, and there you go. Passes all test cases. So again, I'm super happy that I was able to come up with my own solution to this question without any help and solve it completely on my own. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for more.